Hello, in this video we are going to be going through the introduction to your grade 9 math course. We're going to go through some of the things that you're going to have to know when you're learning in person, how to navigate the online course when you're working online or at home, and then just the general course outline. So the voice you're hearing is me, Mr. Liu. I will be your teacher for this semester. I've been teaching math and science for about 5 years. Some little things about me: anything to do with hockey, whether it be playing or watching, I love. I'm a big fan of the Montreal Canadiens, so this season has been great so far. In terms of watching, in terms of playing, obviously you can't be doing that. In my free time, I can be found playing video games. Right now it's PlayStation 5, sometimes a little bit of computer games, watching movies, playing hockey as I mentioned, or hanging out with my cat Chester, who is sitting on a chair behind me as I record this. I can't wait to meet you all in person, whether it is in person in learning or whether it's online. And for those online learners, I will be reaching out to get in touch with you. If you have any questions anytime throughout the course, and I'll bring this up again, but feel free to email me. It's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me. I always have my phone on me or in close proximity to it, and I get notifications from the email. So if you have a question about anything, always feel free to email me, and I will respond as soon as I can. In-class learning. So something that is new to this semester. When you are learning in class, when your cohort is on or in class, you must complete a COVID self-assessment online. And you have to do this every day before you attend school. I'll get to how you can access it, but teachers will be making sure that you have completed and passed this assessment. And if you have failed, which means maybe you have symptoms or you've been in proximity to someone who does have symptoms, you are required to stay home. If you come to school and you have failed it, you will be asked to go home or be picked up and be taken home. Just again, we do have to keep in mind that as of recording this, the community technically is still in lockdown under a stay-at-home order. So these precautions are going to be a little bit more intense than they would have been first semester. So the instructions to accessing this self-assessment. Make sure you log into your DSBN student portal. So you can do this by going to the E.L. Crosley webpage. At the top right, you'll see something that says Student and Staff Login. You log in with your student account there. You'll be taken to this kind of portal, and you should find the student COVID screening. It should look like this down here in the bottom right. You'll be asked to complete a couple questions, and if you see a green check mark after you complete it, you can attend school. If you see a red, please make sure you remain home, and you should be in contact with a healthcare provider, a doctor, whatever the case may be, again, if the symptoms are pretty severe and if you have the symptoms in general. Right. Class rules. So make sure you're prompt, make sure you attend class. The class does start at 10 o'clock and goes till about 2 o'clock. So please make sure you attend class regularly, even if it's online. Be prepared, so make sure you come with the proper equipment, materials that you will need for class. And make sure you use your class time wisely. We should be spending about 4 hours in class and 75 minutes online working at home. And if you're an online learner, again, you should be spending roughly it's about 300 minutes a day on your class. So again, make sure you are using that time. Respect yourself, others, and property. So again, when you're in the building, respect the property, respect yourself, respect others, being polite to each other, giving each other space, again, especially again given the circumstances of the environment that we're in, making sure your mask stays on, things like that. In terms of cell phones, while we're doing lessons or while we're working on investigative activities or whatever the case may be, please make sure your cell phones are away. If you do need your cell phones to listen to music while you do some practice questions or while you work, that's fine. I have no problem with that. Just if I'm speaking or if someone else is speaking or going through a lesson, please make sure that you have your cell phones away and your earbuds out. If for whatever reason you use it as a strategy to help deal with maybe some anxiety or whatever the case, please just send me an email, let me know, and that way I know that when you're doing that, that's the reason behind it. Snacks and drinks are allowed at your desk. Just make sure you're mindful of others. So again, it shouldn't be a full meal. I understand that you will probably get hungry throughout the day. Just make sure what you're eating is appropriate for the classroom. And same thing with drinks. And seek extra help if needed. So if you are struggling, or if you do not understand a concept, or if you are unsure of what an assignment question is asking, please either reach out to me through email, attend the office hours that I'll talk a little bit about later, or again, like send me an email, ask me at school. Just reach out. There's no stupid questions. I'll definitely answer anything, regardless if it's something as simple as how do I find this or how do I find that. But again, please seek help if you need it. That's what I'm here for. So going into some of this stuff, this is going to be more about the kind of rules of the school given COVID. But again, you may already know this, so this may be a refresher. In terms of washrooms, because we are on the 3rd floor, we'll be using those washrooms only. The washrooms do have a maximum capacity. I believe most of them are all one student at a time. So if you have to wait, there are signs on the floor of how you should be spaced out. Please please be respectful of those rules. You should not be in there with more than one person, again, given the situation. Only one student at a time is permitted to leave the classroom. So regardless of what bathroom you're using, only one person is allowed out at a time. So again, please make sure you are mindful that if you leave, other students may be waiting for you to come back. So again, the idea is to go to the washroom and come back right away. It's not to walk around, it's not to go visit a friend or whatever the case may be. If you do need to, for certain reasons, to get up, you can't sit still, you need to go for a quick walk, please, again, let me know ahead of time so I can set something up with Resource or Student Success so we can offer that to you in a more controlled manner. Stairs and hallways. So again, this is the same as last semester. You'll be using stairwell A and C only for going upstairs. So those are the two at the sides of the school, and stairwell B is used for going traveling downstairs. So that's the main one by the elevator. And again, if you have to use the elevator, it's restricted to one person at a time. So again, this is kind of an overview of the school. Our classroom is going to be 312, which is right here on the 3rd floor. So because of where we're located, we have to be using stairwell C, which is in the drama wing. So if you go into the school, you walk left down the hallway and then back down the tech wing, and then to the drama area, and you go up those stairs. So again, hopefully you know what stairwell that is. If not, again, ask a teacher when you arrive at the school, and they'll be able to direct you, and I believe there will be some signs out there as well for you. Morning study hall, I believe this may be changing again due to the circumstances, so you will not be allowed to arrive before 9:45. Obviously, you're getting dropped off by bus, that won't be an issue, but if you're getting dropped off by a parent or guardian, please keep that in mind. If it does change and you are allowed in the building earlier than that, you'll most likely have to go to a morning study hall in the cafeteria or be out at the track. So you're not allowed to head to the classroom before 9:45. Scheduled breaks. So again, each class will receive a scheduled 20-minute break. Again, same as last year, the breaks are going to be different. You're not going to be broken up by grade. It's broken up just basically on random times. So period 3, your break is going to be 11:32 that should say AM, so 11:32 AM, and period 4 will be 12:16 PM. Okay, let's just change that quickly so we don't get that confused. So 11:32 AM is period 3, 12:16 PM is period 4. And if you are unfamiliar with the exit that you should be going out when you go on break, you're going to be going down the main or down stairwell B, so the main one by the elevator, and then you will be going to the library and you'll be going left. So left out to kind of a little courtyard area, kind of the janitor area, where you'll be going down a ramp to the back of the school, and then you will be going up the back ramp to the back area. So again, usually on the first day we'll walk you down to kind of show you where you should be going. You are not going by the cafeteria. So you're not going that way, you're going out the left door by the library, down the ramp, then back up in the back into the back area in the back of the parking lot. Again, it's just to make sure that we kind of limit the amount of contact you have. Again, once you're outside, you can remove your mask, and as long as you're maintaining 6 feet apart from someone else. Again, just be mindful of that. Again, like I said, we are in, as a recording of this, we are in a lockdown state, stay-at-home order, so we do have to be aware of that and keep in mind that the restrictions or the enforcements are going to be a little bit stronger than they would have been first semester. So again, our area on the 3rd floor is going to be in the back here by the parking lot. This is where you'll be hanging out during your break. When you're coming back in, you're going to walk around the front of the building, in through the main foyer, then over to the drama wing and up the stairs. So again, that's pretty much the same as first semester. Dismissal, again, as far as I'm aware, we're going to be dismissed based on grade level. You're going to stay in your classroom until you get called down. You should be getting released at about 1:50 as grade 9s. The bus routes, I believe, will probably be in the same spots. So again, please make sure you are aware of where your bus is. And if you're getting picked up, you're going to be getting picked up in the front gym doors in that area over there. All right, moving to online learning. So when you're learning online, what we're going to be looking at first is navigating D2L. So again, this is going to be the main thing for our course. So when you go to D2L, it won't look exactly like this because this is a grade 12 data management, but what it will look like is something like this. So you'll have your grade 9 math banner. It will be different depending on the grade, or sorry, the class, but essentially it should look something like this. On the main screen, you'll have kind of a virtual class, and this has a bunch of useful links. You'll have a link to the office hours, which is through Microsoft Teams. So if you have trouble with that, please let me know, but this is where the link will be for that. Here in green is a link to Desmos. We will be using this throughout the semester, but any links to that I will provide to you directly. If you choose to go here on your own, there's a link here for it. There's a link for a virtual or online version of a scientific calculator if you need it. There's a link to my YouTube channel where I post all the lessons, video lessons for the course. There is a website where I have, again, all of the lessons from a more standard year posted with notes and everything if you want extra information. And there's a link to the class Instagram where I post screenshots of the lessons and things we do in class. There's a link to my email as well, some background prerequisite knowledge that you should know from grade 8, and then there's a few other links scattered throughout the page, and feel free to click around and try to find them as well. Just some little things, little tidbits of things that you may find useful. So going down to the announcements, this is where you should be going every day to look and see what the daily schedule is. There'll be a link to the week's checklist that will tell you what you should be focusing on. And the first day of the week for your class. So it might be Monday, it might be Tuesday. The full week's worth of work will be posted. So again, the checklist will be there to help you kind of track your progress throughout the week. And any work that gets assigned should be due by that Sunday, so by the end of the week. As well, if we scroll down, we have our course content over here. So this is just a quick way to get to the course content. But again, any announcements or even in the checklist, it will be linked to everything you need to use. As well, the other two things that you should be doing is making sure you authorize your Google account and your Office 365, or for basically your Microsoft Office tools. So when you authorize it, or when you're signing into an account, you're signing in using your student login. So you can see for me, it's just my school login, my school account. It would be the same for you. So do make sure you go through and authorize these two things. It helps make things easier and more seamless when you're either downloading files, or you're uploading assignments, or joining the Microsoft Teams meeting. So please make sure you do that when you log in online. You should only have to do it once, but if you ever find there's ever an issue accessing, say, your Google Drive, or uploading or submitting a file from your Google Drive, you may just have to reauthorize. Aside from that, a couple other things you should be aware of. If you click on your name at the top and you go to notifications, you do have a couple options available. One, you do want to make sure that you have your school email address here, so that when anything comes up in D2L or if some things get posted, it gets sent to your email, or your student email. You can register your phone or your cell phone if you want to, but the main thing is that you've registered your student email. Along with that, then, you can check off specific things you want to be notified with, especially by email. So the main ones I would suggest would be announcements, or announcement updated, new announcement available. So when I post the announcement for each class day, you'll get an email saying that it's been posted. Assignments, assignment feedback released to let you know when something's been marked. Assignments due date or end date is 2 days away, so to let you know when something is going to be due shortly. So again, it helps you manage your time. And I would go down to the same thing for quizzes. So you will have some quizzes. So again, you want to make sure you are aware when the due date or the end date is coming up, to make sure you get it done or completed on time. And you'd save that, and that would kind of be enough, or the main things you would want to be notified about. As well, the other things you're going to do, let me just, So the other main things is going to be your content. So again, you may see, it's not going to look exactly like this, because I will have some stuff hidden based on what should be available to you. So obviously right now we're not going to be working into week 2 or week 3. We will be working into week 8, and everything will be laid out. You'll have a checklist specific to your cohort, and you'll have what you should be doing on each of the 2 days. And again, everything in the checklist is going to be the same basically in each folder. So everything is numbered, it's organized to help you keep track of your work. And again, you can always go back to this page to find out what you should be working on, or if you happen to forget. The other main things, quizzes. So when we do have quizzes, you can see that we do have some posted right now. But again, you're not going to have to worry about these yet, because these there won't be anything for the first day or the first week of lessons. So nothing for the first week. But any of your quizzes will be found here. Again, there'll be links and everything that will direct you to it. Assignments. Assignments will be for where you submit any of your assignments. There'll be specific folders in the checklist, in the course content. There will be links specifically to what you should be, or where you should be submitting it. If you again have any questions, again, please feel free to email me if you're unsure of where to submit it. You will find that there are 2 sections. One says for evaluation, so this is everything that you're going to be marked on, and one that says practice work. So specifically the practice work, this is going to be for when you're working online or you're working at home. There will be things that say you do have to submit your practice work. It's not going to be marked, but it lets me check to make sure that when you're online or when you're learning from home, you do complete the required practice or homework. If you're in class, you will be given time in class to work on it, so you don't have to worry about submitting it because I'll be able to see in person that you have completed it. But again, anything under the practice work will not be marked. It's only under the for evaluation. And then finally, grades. There won't be anything here because there are no grades. You will see some student names. But under your grades section is where you would find all your grades organized. And again, that's the main things from D2L that you should be using, you should be knowing. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to email me, and I'll make sure that we kind of get it solved. All right, moving on to the daily schedule. So again, like I said, each day in the announcement section, there'll be a checklist to outline the day's schedule and help you track your progress. So again, we mentioned that already. There'll be links to everything, and it should be organized so that you can, again, track and make sure you're completing everything. Office hours will be available after each class from 2:10 to 2:50 through the meeting link. So again, bring it back up. There'll be a link under the office hours section here where if you click it, it will take you to a Microsoft Teams meeting where I can help you virtually with anything that you may be struggling with. If it doesn't open up right away, or if it says waiting for someone to let you in, just hold tight and I will be in there shortly. Attendance. So if you're learning online or you're an at-home learner, so meaning your cohort's at home, you do have to follow a two-step process to complete your attendance. What you do want to do is one, either go to the website elcrosley.dspn.org, click on the student and staff login, and then go to your D2L button or link to take you to the D2L page. Or you can also go directly to the ELC D2L homepage. From there, you should see this large green attendance button. You want to click on this button and submit the Google form. So it'll be basically entering your first and last name, what class you're supposed to be attending that day or learning from, and then just a check mark to say that you are learning online. The second part is you have to proceed to your D2L class. So for us, because we're using D2L, once you submit that Google form, you have to go to your D2L class to start your work. So that means you should be, after you submit that form, you should be going to this page, or again, something very, very similar, and you should be looking at the announcement. This way I can track that you've gone to the class and you've started, or I assume you've started your work. So you do need to complete both parts of your attendance, the form and going to D2L. I mark your attendance based on if you go to D2L. So if you don't go to D2L, I won't be able to see that, and I'll have to mark you absent. If there's any questions about that, please email me, and there's a video link up here that'll be in the PDF as well for you to find. Virtual meeting expectations. I'm not going to go through this too much because we will be mostly learning in class or in person. But when we do meet on Microsoft Teams, if you right-click on my video or my screen and you pin it, that's make sure that it'll be the only one that you see. So if I do any work or I open up my own screen, it'll be the main one that you see. So it won't be a small one in the corner. How to access your email. So be sure to check your student email daily. I would recommend checking it once in the morning when you log in, say at 10 o'clock, and then once before you log out at 2 o'clock or when the school day is done. You do have access to two emails, your Gmail and your D2L. Primarily, everything should be going to your Gmail account. So again, to get to it, go to elcrosley.dspn.org, click and log into the student staff login button, and then click on your Gmail icon. For D2L, if you go to D2L, you'll see, I'll bring it back up, in the upper right corner, you'll see an envelope button. That's your student or your student D2L email. If you set up the notifications correctly, as before, you should get everything sent to your D2L, or from your D2L to your Gmail account. And teachers will primarily send you a message through Gmail. So just be aware of that. Make sure you're checking it daily. If you have to put it on your phone or whatever the case may be, just make sure you're keeping communication open with your teachers. How to write and send an email. Again, I'm not going to go over this too much right now. We will have something a little bit next week where you do have to send me an email, just making sure you use the correct steps. It just makes it easier to respond to. It makes it easier to understand what you're asking, and it just adds some professionalism to it. Technology issues. So if you ever have any technology issues, so maybe your internet's down or it's slow, you're missing a technological device, or you have no laptop or whatever the case may be, or if there's anything in general that will prevent you from learning online, please email me. Reach out to me. We'll come up with a solution, whatever the case may be. And if you cannot email me, because again, your internet's down, let's say, then you can always phone the school and they will let me know. But again, just reach out. I'm understanding of anything that comes up, just as long as the communication or the lines of communication are open. All right, moving on to the course outline. So the outline of our course. So again, contact information. You can always send me an email if you have any questions, and here's the school phone number. Again, the easiest way to get in touch with me will be through email. Again, like I said, we will be using D2L as our main online platform. If we go away from D2L, we will be using Desmos or basically Google Slides. Once we get into that, I'll make sure that I walk you through how to access the information or the content. But again, if you do have any questions, again, like I said, email me. Additional online tools. I talked a little bit about this when we went through D2L, talked about some of the links. So all the videos for the lessons I do post on YouTube. You can, if you want to kind of cut out the middleman for some of those, you can always just go to my channel. It's just basically my name. You'll see the little logo here. You can always subscribe to it, or you just kind of bookmark it, whatever you want. And there will be a playlist for MPM 1D1, which is basically the grade 9 academic math. There's also a Weebly website that has additional information. Again, lessons and videos, completed lessons of everything that you might need from basically a standard year, like pre-COVID. But again, all the materials and all the lessons will be applicable to this year as well if you want some more information. And again, like I said, the Instagram, there is a classroom Instagram. Basically, all that I post is information that's class related, math related, and pictures of all the notes and lessons that we do. If you just want something or another resource that you may find a little bit more user friendly, just to see and make sure you're staying caught up on what we do in class. So a note about how this course will run. So as you know, this year is not going to look like any other school year. Some of you are in cohort A, some of you are in cohort B. Actually, right now it's switched. Cohort A is at the beginning, B is at the beginning, A is at the end. And some of you are participating fully online. This course has been set up so that everything can be done online. If you choose to attend school in person, we will complete the same activities together, but they may look a little different. If you do have a device, I do suggest bringing it, especially when we move to some of the online activities. If you don't have a device or you don't feel comfortable bringing one, I do have paper copies for pretty much all the activities that we do end up doing. But in some cases, they're a little bit more entertaining, you could say, or interactive if you're working on it online. If you choose to attend class in person, then please try not to work too far ahead, especially if you're working in the second half of the week. But I will let you know what activities you should be completing in class and what activities you should be completing at home in the checklist, as well as the given time frame of how long it should take you to complete. Online office hours. So again, I will hold online office hours each day, 2:10 to 2:50, using Microsoft Teams through the link on the main D2L page, that little icon in the virtual class. If that time does not work for you, then please just send me an email and we can set something else up, set up another time, something that works for you, for both of us. When you enter the chat, again, just make sure your camera and microphone is off. If there's someone else already in there, then just kind of wait, and I'll call upon you just to ask your question. If you don't want to attend virtually, then again, you can always send me an email and I can work out a solution or write something out to hopefully help you through the problems that you're having. What to bring to class on in-person days. Again, a pen or a pencil, primarily pencil since you're in math. A scientific calculator would be useful. The phone ones, iPhones and Androids, aren't the greatest. They will work, but I do recommend an actual physical calculator. Make sure you have some paper, lined paper. Make sure you have a binder. Any of the lessons or anything you need to print out, I would make sure that you have copies of that. And again, like I said, if you do have some portable technology, please bring that with you, because again, it does make some of the lessons or some of the activities a little bit more interactive. But again, I do have paper copies of them as well if you are not comfortable bringing any technology with you. If you're a little bit concerned about the safety with it, you're going to be the only ones in the classroom. If we do all leave, I will lock the doors, but primarily I do not leave the classroom, so you don't have to worry too much about someone taking anything. But again, I will leave that up to you. Course description, I'm not going to go through this too much. If you want to read through it, you can. Same with the course strands. Linear relationships, algebra, analytic geometry, measurement in 3D and 2D objects, and geometry are kind of the main overarching units or concepts that we're going to be looking at this semester, and how the marks are going to go. So 80% of your mark or your final mark will be in the coursework that we do throughout the semester. So this will mainly be assignments and quizzes. So you usually find each week you'll probably have about 2 assignments and 2 quizzes. The quizzes are short, usually about 4 questions, multiple choice or a quick short answer, and then the assignments are a little bit more in-depth. And then your final culminating assignment, you'll have 3 sections or 3 parts to it, broken up over the week or over a week. So again, nothing too strenuous. It is broken down, and then a course review package that you'll be asked to submit as well, that you'll have plenty of time to work on. Again, please note that this is subject to change. Again, given the environment that we're in, if it does change, I will let you know, so you won't be blindsided by it. And that is it for the course introduction. So again, like I said, I look forward to meeting you in person or online. And if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out, send me an email, or ask me in class.